All right, hey guys, so first let me show you what this trick looks like from my perspective. All right, so that's basically it. One quick thing before we start learning this trick. A lot of you guys have been asking me to say which yo-yo I use for these tutorials, and so currently I'm using the Yo-Yo Factory bind for this tutorial. So let's jump right in. As you saw there is that slack element, so we're definitely gonna wanna get out any string tension we have before starting the trick. And now with all of that out, let's get to learning. So step one, you're basically gonna start out in a normal trapeze. From here, what you're gonna do is actually put your thumb of your non-throw hand into the configuration, but instead you're gonna have your thumb go to the back. So you're kinda gonna have to turn your hand over, but notice how my thumb is actually more to the left than my pointer finger. It's a really kind of strange motion. However, it'll make sense why we do this in just a little bit. It's pretty abnormal, but just try it out. So now that we're here, we're gonna take our middle finger of our non-throw hand, and we're gonna pinch the string right here with our thumb and middle finger of our non-throw hand. So just like this. So we should be in a mount that looks like this. So one thing that can make this trick a lot easier for you is really make sure that the trapeze loop itself, so this loop right here, is pretty close to the yo-yo, because if you do it like this, there's no slack to carry over. So you wanna keep this loop right here pretty close to the yo-yo, and then get in the formation. So now that you're pinching, you should kind of be in this configuration right here with the string draped over your pointer finger of your non-throw hand. These guys are pinching, and then you just have this hand like that. Now, one more thing before we do the actual slack concept, something that just kind of helps me out when I do this trick. Take your two fingers right here, your pointer finger and your middle finger of your throw hand, and just bring them around like that, so you kind of have this little wrap right there. Just make sure the string goes over these fingers. It really just kind of makes this trick a lot easier, and so before you start that slack motion right there, make sure that you kind of have this little string going over like that. So now we're gonna do the first slack part of this trick, which is kind of loading into the correct mount. So we're all pinched up right here, we're ready, and we have this right here. You're gonna swing the yo into this string, so the string on the right there, this guy. You're gonna swing the yo into that string in a counterclockwise motion, and you're gonna let the slack carry over, and then you're going to catch with this pointer finger right here, and yeah, all right, so this is another one of those movements that really a lot is happening at once. But again, we're all pinched up right here. We're gonna swing into the string right here. And so when you're gonna swing into here, what's actually gonna happen is you want the yo to go over this hand right here, my throw hand. So altogether, that process is gonna look like this. So this stuff in general, it is really confusing, and it took me so long to get this down. But let me just, again, break it down for you one more time. So we're gonna aim for this string right there. We're gonna shoot the yo into that string. In midair, you're going to drop this finger right here from the kind of string configurations so that just your thumb and your middle finger are pinching. You're gonna swing over your hands and catch the string that comes around. And so that process is gonna look like this. It's really kind of hard to describe what happens here, so just please take a look at this slow motion footage. I'll get a bunch of different angles so I can really break it down for you guys, but try to notice what each of my hands are doing and what's going on with this trick. All right, so if you've gotten to this step right here and you're in this configuration where you have kind of two strings going over your throw hand, your thumb is right here and your pointer finger is like that, congratulations, you have basically done the entire trick and you have definitely mastered the hardest part. So congratulations if you get to this point, because again, it is not easy to do this trick, and that first part is especially difficult. So right here, we are almost done with the trick. What you're gonna do is you're going to kind of curl this pointer finger of my non-throw hand around like that, and you're gonna make some tension by pulling your hands apart while there's that pinch, and you're gonna release your thumb of your non-throw hand, and you're gonna release so that the slack goes over the yo-yo just like this. Now, you notice I had a little bit of string tension right there, so I'm gonna work on getting all of that out. But again, the slack is just kind of supposed to swing over the yo-yo. So again, we're right here, the slack just kind of swings over like that, and you're holding that pinch right there with your thumb and pointer finger kind of like that to make sure that the slack is right there. From here, what you're going to do, and this can be a little bit tricky, but it really just takes a lot of practice, is you're gonna hop the yo-yo into this string, this loop right there. We just kind of try to aim that yo-yo right there and hop into the green triangle. So now that you're in this configuration, you are almost done with the trick. You can just pop out the back and you'll be good to go. But I just want to talk a little bit more about this last step because it can be pretty tricky. So once you kind of let this slack off, again, we're gonna aim for that. And I really recommend you guys try to make this a very small motion. It seems like the bigger kind of motion that you make, the more the slack wants to move out of the way. So I've had the most amount of success when I just move the yo-yo a little bit and it just kind of gently lands in that configuration. In addition, this is a bit of a scary trick because, and you have to be very careful, once you're in this pinch configuration, if you move this string around too much, one, the strings can go wild like that, and two, the yo-yo can totally respond on you. So you want to make sure to keep the strings very taut and prevent the yo-yo from like moving around when it's kind of on that tightrope configuration. So when the yo-yo is kind of like in this configuration, try to stop it from moving around. Just kind of keep it very still and in the exact same spot. That'll stop it from actually responding back to your hand because as you can see right there, it's very easy for the yo-yo to do that. In addition, once you actually are in the green triangle, the triangle itself, when you pop out, will have a tendency to snag as well. So this really is a pretty dangerous trick because once you hop into the actual green triangle, just the way that the strings are all set up, the yo-yo will want to respond when you pop out. It kind of has, you have to really kind of be careful about that because if you're not careful, it can hit you in the face. So again, once we've kind of hopped into the green triangle, you'll notice if I kind of hop the yo-yo out, it kind of has a tendency to respond. So you want to make sure that when you're popping out of the green triangle, in order to stop the yo-yo from snagging once it's actually in the green triangle mount, make sure you kind of pop out very forcefully like that to eliminate any slack and to prevent the slack from making the yo-yo actually bind. So again, once you're in the triangle, really try to pop out pretty forcefully like that. That'll prevent it from actually snagging. Now I'm gonna give you one last tip before I go on that kind of middle section, the first slack. There is an alternative way to do this trick actually. And so when Hunter originally taught me this trick at Nationals, he had me kind of set up like this where I have the thumb of my non-throw hand kind of over there. If you really want and you want to make it a little bit more simple, you can just put your thumb into the configuration. So put your non-throw hand thumb right there and pinch the string with your pointer finger. So if you're having some trouble with that first slack movement and you're having trouble with kind of keeping your fingers all aligned and stuff like that, try to just put your thumb into the configuration, pinch with your non-throw hand pointer finger, and you can still swing into the mount and get into the proper place to end the trick. So one more time, I'm gonna go through each step of this trick. So we're gonna land in a basic trapeze. From here, you can either have just your thumb in the string and pinch with your pointer finger like that, or you can have your thumb and pointer finger and bring your thumb to your left, pinch with your middle finger right there, swing over and catch that slack. That step is super hard, so definitely check that out. Make some tension by pinching on your non-throw hand and release with your thumb. Now the slack is right there. Make sure you don't let the yo-yo move around too much. Hop the yo-yo into the slack. And now that you're in the green triangle, it will want to respond if you're not careful. Pop out from the back pretty forcefully, and that's it.